It's a really good fish. And you can see it's not so scary. Hey, this is Alan Batista of Light Tackle Kayak Trolling Chesapeake Bay. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I want to show you snakehead fishing. Now, the snakehead is a much maligned fish. There's a lot of people that really don't like them. And the media has done a lot to portray them as a frankenfish, as a fish that walks across land and eats your children at night, and they're very aggressive. Well, you know, I hope to show that, you know, maybe this isn't exactly how they are. And there is quite an awesome experience here fishing for them. And hopefully I get enough today that I can show you the action. I can show you their characteristics, show you how timid they are, and show you that they're not this toothy creature that lurks in the deep that eats everything in sight and terrorizes the world. They are a much more timid fish than that. They're very fascinating, and I hope I can expose you to some of that during this video. So here are my selections of baits today. This is a Teckle frog. This is the Maracker, however you want to say it. I'm getting excited because I see some action real close to me. I should be casting rather than shooting film. But nonetheless, this is really good. It's got a rattle in the tail. I had some friends that recommended this to me. Works out pretty well. I've added one of those extra frog hooks on the back because the hookup ratio for this is incredibly bad. But you know, this kind of makes the rattle hang up on it. So it's not perfect, but it works out pretty well. Got a buzzbait, more of an exposed hook on it. They love these paddle tails, so I'm gonna give that a shot. This is the Goliath. This is Mega Frox. Nice buzzbait. That works out really well as well. Got exposed hooks on the back, and then one of these rivet frogs. And when they take it, you can see it collapses and gets a better hookup. So I've never had any issue getting these fish to chase. I've never had any issue finding them, but hooking up is a different story. I will tell you, geez, I'm trying to count. I'd say I hook up one fish for every 20 blowups. Easy, those are the numbers. If you've got better ways to do it, let me know. But, you know, that's my struggle right now. Not finding them, hooking up with them. So we're gonna see how this goes. They're very hard to hook up with. I tend to like to fish them exclusively on topwater baits. There are easier ways to get them. There are harder ways to get them, but this is how I want to do it. I think that's a lot of the fun. And you're going to find out there's going to be a lot of blow-ups, there's going to be a lot of action, but the hookup ratio is going to be pretty low when you're using hollow-bodied frogs. If you have a solo skiff, I really highly recommend you get one of these Torpedo setups. You can see right here I've mounted the throttle controller on the seat. I've got the steering controller right here. This is a repurposed lake troller by Scotty. I've got a whole video showing this out. Well, it's gotten too shallow for the motor, so it's time to paddle. This is one of the most fun parts of this. Once you get in these really skinny waters, you can just look down and see all the life crawling around down there, or swimming around down there. But it's an incredibly versatile vehicle. You can put a gas motor on it. I obviously have the electric motor on it today. Sometimes I have both, depending on what I want to do. Solo Skiff is a blank canvas for whatever your needs are. I see all kinds of life down there. It's beautiful. But imagine that. I mean, I can cross the bay in this, target stripers, wide open water, go right into the muck for snakeheads. Pretty awesome. There's one right there. There's one right there. As I'm moving, I'm seeing a lot of these mud and dust clouds get kicked up, and I'm watching fish scoot in and around them. I'm in a location where there's snakeheads, right? So I'm gonna start casting, and the first cast I'm gonna put, let's put it out there, see what happens. Right along those the pads, the vegetation. And I'll do a couple of fan casts as well. Well, there's a snakehead right behind me. I don't know if that picked up on the audio or not. But geez, they're active right now. Let's turn around. Put a cast right out to where I heard that and saw it. And we'll see if he comes back. Started out as a nice cool morning, 75 degrees. It's warming up here quickly. I see something to the left of the bait, and I'm not sure if it's going to commit. A lot of times when that wake from the bait hits it, it wakes that fish up and it starts charging over, but it's going to be too far gone by the time it gets here. Let's try again. Try again. I'm using a bait caster today. I prefer bait casters. I mean, when I'm trying to drop bait right next to a weed, I want that thumb control. And one more cast before I move on. From this side. I don't like to waste too much time. They're either, and look at that, right next to the pad. That's what that bait caster did for it. They're either ready to bite or they're not. So if these aren't, I'm gonna find ones that are. There's some action right there. Something's getting hit pretty good. So of course, I'm gonna cast a little beyond it and bring my frog right through. There's a lot of activity right there. And I know I'm standing on this and shaking the camera around. Bear with me. There is so much getting hit over there. So much. And there's snakes because I see them. There's another snake. What is going on? This is incredible. I don't know if it's like a couple there. There's obviously more than one. See the backs coming out of the water? Let me switch up. Let me switch up this different kind of profile. I want to paddle a little bit closer. Buzz baits don't cast quite as far. The blade catches the wind, so I gotta get a little closer, which is the downside. Let's see if we can make this happen. Came up and breathed there. Not for nothing, these are big fish here. I'll tell you what, I learn something every time I come out here. These are very fascinating fish. I suppose if I had minnows, I could just cast one in there and let it sit, but that is not how I want to catch these. That's no fun for me. The fun is sitting here being frustrated. I make 1,000 casts. not knowing what's going on. That's the fun. Got it. You got it. Wait, wait. Set. Set. Got him. Got him. Oh, a little head shake. It's in the weeds. I'm basically just pulling myself to it. Another one just kind of guarding the fry ball. Just gonna work my way towards her. This one looks pretty good. This one's on the buzzbait. The other one was on the topwater frog. This is on the buzzbait. And she's pretty much just buried herself in the weeds here. They don't fight really too hard. Maybe they do if they're not in all these weeds, but once they get tangled up, there's just not much place they can go. I guess I'm going to take a shot that it's down there. I think I missed. I don't even see it. I feel it. Oh my gosh. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, there she is. Oh boy. Got her with a whole mess of vegetation. But that's part of the challenge as well. Oh, it's another dragon. Let's get that. That was on the Goliath buzzbait. Yeah, you can see that. On the Goliath buzzbait. Looks like it broke one of the hooks too. And she doesn't want to let go. They never want to let go. They're very interesting. Much different than what you'd expect from, you know, other types of fish you've fished for and targeted. You can see that it has the spinning blade. It's the trailer hooks. So we need a new trailer hook there. Here we go. Look at that. Guess she rolled a little bit and broke that other one off. Should be two there. But you see this hook is more exposed, so they tend to have a better hookup ratio with this one than the topwater frog. Look what she's spitting up. This is pretty interesting. So that's what she's eating. That's what she's regurgitating. There we go. All right, sweetie. Let's get a good shot with you. There she is. It's a pretty nice one. It's about 28 inches long, maybe 30. I don't have a ruler here to check it out, but that's what she is. All right, we're gonna let this one go and see what she does. Well, that wasn't much fanfare. Just kind of swam off. No tail flap, no splash, no nothing. And I'm not going to get into the politics of snakehead fishing. I like it. You can release them if you'd like, or you can harvest them. It's up to you. I'm not going to get into that discussion right now. I happen to prefer to want to release that one. The other thing that's really nice about snakehead fishing is I don't have to battle the crowds. I don't have to go out in the main stem of the bay. I don't have to put myself in any kind of danger that comes along with being in that kind of traffic or in those kind of deep waters. I mean, right here you can see I'm just in a foot or two of water, and look how beautiful it is. It's almost like it's not Maryland. You'd hardly know that I was just outside of Baltimore. It's a very neat experience. Look how beautiful these waters are. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Just stand around here. That is beautiful. You got all those beautiful weeds here. Topwater frog. Let's see if we can find a snake. I've had 2 blow-ups so far. One of them I hooked so hard I threw it out of the water. It's quite a big fish. But it didn't come tight. But this is the name of the game. Find these pads, find these weeds that are really thick. Another one right along the other side. All right, now take a look at this. This is grass bed and vegetation as thick as you can imagine. And it doesn't even look like you could get through it. But this is the kind of stuff that I look for. Look at this pocket in there. See that? That's where snakeheads will hide. They like this bit of a roof over their head, and so I'll go in the thickest vegetation I can find, throw the topwater frog, the weedless frog, some kind of other weedless bait, and just bring it across, because you never know where these guys are hiding. But there's a whole bunch of them all throughout, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm into double-digit blow-ups now. I see a snake right there. And I'm going to see if I can get it to strike. See it there? The frog is right on it. And if it's going to hit right about now. Come on, baby. I see it swimming away. Oh, it's chasing some bait out there. There's bait jumping out of the water. Look at this grass. This is beautiful. Again, I'm going to lay that line right along that weed line. Oh, there we go. Oh, got it. Got it for a second. And then, as they always do, they seem to miss it. Now what I did here is I put a cast right along the weed edge and let the wind take my line and wrap it right around the contour of the weed line. You can watch it, and that frog is just going to swim right along the line. So it's a little trick that I use just to get the right line. As you cast, the wind's going to put a bow in the line. So use that to your advantage sometime. Let it hug around the corner, let it tuck around a point, and let your line fall right on the water. And that'll just create a path for your lure to follow. As long as you don't horse it too much. Yeah, as long as you don't horse it too much, you just put a little bit of finesse on it, and you're gonna get a little topwater frog following your line all the way along that weed line. And that is going to better your odds for one of these snakes. See if you can see what I did here. Cast the frog over here and let the wind take my line to the left. And what it's going to do, it's going to follow that line and sweep it right through this little passage. See that? When you're in all this shrubbery and vegetation, you need a couple little tricks to get your lure to follow the line you want, because you don't always get the best position. I'm gonna put another one up there. That looks just really too good. Oh, there was a hit. It missed it. But there was a fish there. Little blow up. I generally find they don't come back. But there's just something so beautiful about looking for these fish in these waters. I mean, they're just so pretty in here. Oh wow, there's something behind it right now. There's something chasing it. Wow. That's a big wake behind it. Come on, commit. Come on, commit. Wow, that's a big wake. It's a big wake behind it. It never committed. But that was a heck of a wake. There was a big fish in there. Let's try this side. There's another fish behind it now. There's something chasing it. Something chasing it. I'm gonna speed it up. Come on. Come on. Did not want it. All right, I'll come back to that. Put it up in there. There's so many little fingers and nooks and crannies, like I was saying. This is just a treat to be back here, just watching what's going on. I mean, you can see down in the water. You can hear the birds. You can watch the dragonflies. And this is what kayak fishing is all about right here. I'm going to try this again. There's just too much action back here. I had two really big wakes following that bait. Oh wow. Wow, that's a big fish. That was it right there. Holy smokes. That was it. That was a really big fish. Really, really big fish. That was that wake that kept following. Really big wakes following that bait. Oh wow. Wow, that's a big fish. Missed it again. Keep trying. Keep trying. Keep trying. Let's try again. Missed. Missed. I mean, how's this for cool? I can take this solo skiff with the motor and everything and not be worried about this real shallow stuff. I can beach here, I can take a break, I can go back, I can check out these little hidden areas, fish, and then come right back to it. Just drag it right off. I mean, this is amazing. Cool little vessel. Could be happy. And how sweet is this? You jump off the solo skiff, can find a nice little marsh over there, and jump off a path. It's just so versatile. You can do a lot of cool stuff. I mean, it's just beautiful out here. So I popped off, beached it, and then just went for another access point, just to reach a little area that was too shallow to cross. That's snakehead fishing on the solo skiff. This is wild. I mean, there's a snakehead right there. Right there. I mean, that's not even an inch of water, it seems. The whole back is sticking out. I can see it. That's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. I mean, they are really up in these pads. I watched it swim all the way over here. There's some pretty wild stuff here. This is beautiful. Spent a lot of time doing this because you got to find these fish where really not many craft can go. There's a lot of weeds all coming to the surface. You can probably see below. There's no way a motor could get through this. I couldn't do anything pretty much with paddle. But the solo skiff is a really nice versatile vehicle because I'll motor around to get to these little coves, and once I'm here, I start paddling. And this good side effect is that I can stand up and look around. I get a much better vantage point than if I'm seated in my other kayak. Although depending on the situation, sometimes I'll take that one too. Just depends what I want to do for the day. If I want to cover some ground and explore, you'll probably see me in the solo skiff. If I want to pop in somewhere close and I don't have to go too far, you'll probably see me in my my Hobie. Big old snakehead right there. Followed it back. See if she'll come back and get it again. She's sees it. She saw it. Geez, just missed the blow up and I still see it. And I saw it. It took the bait. I watched it come from a long way. I threw it right into the fry ball, and that's what happened. It took it. I waited for a long time. It turned. It kept going. I set the hook, and it didn't come tight. Right there, that's where the fry ball is. But it's amazing. I mean, I watched that snakehead follow it. Geez, and easily 30 feet. I mean, a long way. And that's what having good glasses does for you. And when you're doing this, when you're looking for snakeheads, like I said, it's really nice when you have flat, calm water, really glassy water, because you're relying so much on your sight and your vision to see them and to spot any activity, any fry balls. Certainly you can see the fish too in many cases. I did another video, it's worth checking out. I called it, you know, what are the best color lenses for sight fishing for snakeheads? I'm wearing them. Basically, these brown lenses, they do a really nice job of cutting right through the water, cutting down the green so you can see the fish, not so much the vegetation. You can take a look at that video, but it's what I discovered. These are Smiths. They work really, really well for looking right through the water. Again, it's the brown lenses, the amber, the copper. Those work really well for sight fishing for these snakeheads. This is interesting. I put a cast over there in the weeds, and the snakehead shot out and went right over here. I believe this is where its fry is. It's almost like it sensed danger and came out to protect them. So I'm curious. This is the first cast over there. Will this bring a strike? Right there's the mama snakehead. She saw me playing with the fry ball. She went right back under a cover. Where'd that fly ball go? Right here. You can see him all splashing about. Tons of them. Tons of them. There they are, right there. I'm gonna come back to that. See how close I can get. Oh my gosh, yes it sure is. Look at them all down there. All those snakehead babies. A lot of people call it snakehead hunting rather than fishing, and the reason is, it's much like a hunt. You stalk these fish. You creep up on them. A lot of times you can see them out in the distance. I'm looking at little pieces over here where they're breaking. Just come up to gulp some air. You really kind of stalk them. It's pretty interesting and really neat. It's maybe a lot different than some of the other fishing that you're exposed to. Remember I call the snakehead hunting? It's because I'm constantly on the lookout for them. And I see a little action right there, little fry ball. I got one blow up already. Let's see if this one will take it. I told you how timid they are. Came up, just took a defensive strike. As soon as it was gone, the fish turned around. Alright, so let's try again. There we go, that was a good cast. It's gonna put me right on that fry ball. Yeah, right there. There we go. Now we're hooked up. How about that? Yeah, right there. There we go. Now we're hooked up. That was pretty exciting. That's the hunt. That's the hunt for a snakehead. Now the next part is trying to battle them to get in. They've got a lot of teeth in the mouth, so they can break your line really easily. And their mouth is very bony. so you don't always get a very good hook set. It's rather imperative that you have a net here. If you can see this. I'm gonna get down, ready the net, because they thrash quite a bit. I think this is a pretty decent sized one. Although it's in all those weeds, which makes it a very big challenge to get out. But I can see the leader. I can see the fish. There it is. That's a good one. That's a good one. And it's not hooked by much. It's not hooked by much. Oh, missed the hook. Missed the net. And that's a dragon. Whew, baby, that's a dragon. All right, so this is a pretty big one. That's a pretty big one. And they're known for their freakouts. And we're gonna see if it's gonna freak out or not. I have been told that if you cover their eyes, they will not freak out. But as you'll see later in this video, that's not the case. I've tried that before. Hey, got one. Come here, baby. That's a good one too. Oh, God, that's a big one. I think it's on there pretty good. I believe they won't freak out if I've got their eyes closed. I don't know if that's true or not. We'll find out. So I kind of hook it there. And I forgot my pliers. So much for that. They definitely do still freak out, even with your eyes closed. So what I'm gonna do, here's the thing that I've learned. Put your hand in the wrist strap, because if you don't, it'll probably rip it out of your hands and it'll probably take your boga with you. All right. There we go. So that it's a pretty good fish. It's a really good fish. And you can see it's not so scary. All right, let's take a look in the mouth. Look at all those sharp teeth. Those are some pretty sharp teeth. And actually, it has that frog better than I thought. The trouble now is, how do I get it out of there? All right. Look at all those teeth. Look at all those teeth. You know, they're not like stripers where they kind of open their mouth and they let you go in and get it. Once it has your frog, it doesn't want to stop. And it's often very challenging to get them out. There we go. And that's what it hit on. I added an extra hook there in the back because they tend to short strike. This one took it all the way, so that was no problem. look at that beautiful fish. All she was doing was protecting her nest. That's all she was doing. She protected it twice. The first time she was timid, and the second time I got the cast right on it. I missed a couple of times. And it was about, you know, 50, 60 feet away. I missed a couple of times. But that second time she took it sideways and wanted to get that frog away from her babies. So, you know, you can do what you want with these fish. They are very tasty. I'm gonna let this one go. I happen to like to fish for them, and you can make your own decision. But for me, I'll take my share, but I also like them here too. So I'm gonna let this one go. So I think I got enough footage now. Geez, we had a little bit of everything. We had blow-ups, a lot of missed fish, a few pretty good fish. We had a monster fish that's gonna haunt my dreams. What else do we have? Fryballs, a lot of chaotic action, a lot of follows. And I hope I've shown you how interesting and fascinating these fish can be. It's just an awesome sport fish to go and target. You're stalking them in really shallow waters. You're just pulling your way through, standing up, paddling along, running from cove to cove. It's awesome. I mean, it's just a really unique experience. I mean, these things aren't as scary as the media has made them out to be. And you know, I'm out here in very calm, beautiful waters, not fighting any crowds. And it's just a great pastime. And I hope that you guys take a chance to try these fish, grab some topwater frogs. You don't really need a whole lot. The barrier to entry is very, very low. In fact, a lot of these times, a lot of these places, you can just fish from shore. It helps to have a kayak. You can cruise around. You can get a lot of fishing done, but you really don't need much. I think this is a really big part of the sport that's going to take over in the next several years. I know a lot has already taken root, but there's a lot of guys that are really trying to figure out how to get into this. I haven't been to it that long, but now that I am, man, it's just so awesome. It's just so much fun. So I hope you guys share the joy and the passion, and I'll see you next time. If you like these videos, like, subscribe, and follow on Facebook and on YouTube. Catch you there. Bye.